You guys, this is really fun because we have 5 in studio and we have 5 online, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you count Diana, 6.
Very nice.
And of course we have to count Diana. Yeah, we have to get, everybody's like, of course we count Diana.
Uh-oh. Get over here. Thank you.
They added this new feature and it keeps catching us off guard when one of us is host and the other is co-host. Okay, so what I was saying as we were getting set up was if you have a wall, fantastic. If you don't, you're not going to need it, especially if you are, well, I'm not going to say that because that's not true. I have to tell you guys while Yvonne is getting settled in, come to your easy seated position and get the sit bones, get the flesh away from the sit bones while we chat. Maybe even do that rotation of the thighs that some of us, we did in class. I'm finding more and more that really helps my knees, not so much my thighs, but it puts my legs in the right position that my knees release. And you guys all know from hearing me complain about my cranky left knee. Yeah, something about our left knees. It's hard. got on the phone, picked up the phone this morning like everybody else, right, at breakfast. And don't tell me Weight Watchers either. And one of the first things that popped up was I always love to look back at the memories. I know some people turn their Facebook memories off, but I really enjoy that. And a workshop from 2 years ago popped up, and immediately I got sad because it was this big full studio of people, and we were using straps. People were doing hands-on adjustments on each other, and you could see how much fun people were having in the workshop. We had candid photos of people playing with each other, like doing tree, and then playing with their tree, seeing if they could come up and down off the floor with their hands, And well, some of the students were advanced. Nancy just said it must have been an advanced class. And some of the students were, but it was a Kathy workshop, Kathy Simonik, so it wasn't, it wasn't craziness. It made me really sad. And then I opened up my email, and I get an email from Bhante Sujatha every morning, his morning coffee wisdom. And it's just a little snippet with a beautiful picture from all of his worldwide travels. Do you know who Bhante? You may not know. Bhante is, he's a monk that from Blue Lotus Temple in Makanda. And he just is this adorable, wonderful little man that is very straightforward, but his outlook on life, very often I'll say he's a monk, and people, if they're not Buddhist, which I am not, they turn off. But he has so much wisdom to share with people. And so I love his little morning coffee wisdoms. And sometimes they resonate, sometimes I just look at the pictures. But especially after seeing that workshop photo, it was patience is not the waiting, patience is how you wait. And it reminded me of some of you guys all know my husband, and he's not here, so I'm going to throw him under the bus. He and I get into little tips because he has a habit, like if I'm in the kitchen cooking and he wants to get to the trash can, he'll like walk and like kind of stand like this, while he's waiting for me to get out of the way. And I'm like, well, you back up. That's about how he's waiting, right? And so it annoys me. I'm like, just back up, ask me, talk to me, and then I'll move and you can get into the trash can. Driving here this morning, I was doing my usual 4 to 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, nothing more, nothing less, on Cuba. And this gentleman behind me was way up. I mean, I couldn't even see the front of his car because he wanted to get to that left turn lane. And, and I'm reminding myself, you're a yoga teacher, don't do anything nasty. But I didn't change my speed either. I was fine. And I know cops often sit there and wait for you. So I'd like you to think today in class as we review some of the poses that we do over and over that for some of us that are in class today are somewhat new. And for others that are in class, they're old hat. So those of you that are new might not know if you've got your body in the right position. Those of you that are feeling like this is old hat, move on, please. I want you to take the patience and explore your foundation. All right, see if you can find something different, which is what that workshop was, right? We were doing lots of things to find new things in the poses. So that being said, patience. Yvonne's taking a deep breath and getting settled in. Patience on our mat and in our lives, it's what we need in abundance right now, right? With everything going on. So close your eyes. Take, especially when you're driving your car, filling out your ballot. You know? All right, close your eyes. Lift up through the spine. Take some nice deep breaths in. And then when you're ready, you can bring your index finger and your thumb together into a very familiar mudra. The mudras are just, they're energy locks and they're ways to help ground us. Just like when we sit cross-legged, that closing the legs in together helps ground us. Hopefully it also helps us lift and pull the pelvis forward so that the top, the rims, the iliac crests are coming forward. And then we can pull the abdominals in and up, lift up through the heart, let the shoulders slide apart, lift up through the crown of the head, and have lots of nice, beautiful space to breathe in. Enjoy a few breaths there, and while I shared with you what my plan for this morning was, bring to mind what drew you to your mat this morning. See yourself achieving that, knowing that you have everything you need in order to achieve it. With your next in-breath, bring your hands together at your heart center. Let your head gently bow, opening up the back of the neck, honoring the intention that you just set for your mat. Understanding that there is a wisdom there. You heard that little call in the back of your head. And you said, I'm going to come to my mat today, whether it's in studio or online, serving your body and hopefully your mind. Take a nice deep inhale and lift the head up. Let the eyes stay soft and let the hands float down by the knees. Go ahead, take a big inhale and float those arms up, feeling the shoulder opening. Look up and then draw the shoulder blades down the back. Press the palms together. Do Charlie's Angels or the Durga Mudra now. And then as you exhale, draw the hands down through the heart center. Inhale, reach all the way up. Clasp those hands again. And then exhale and press down. One more time, inhale, slide those arms up. And this time, as you bring the palms together, keep the fingers flat. Press the palms and the fingers into each other and keep them pressed in as you descend the hands down and bring the elbows straight out. We tend to let them fall. Keep lots of energy here. Feel how as you press the palms of the hands into each other, the shoulder blades draw together on the back. Nice deep breath in and out here. And then let the hands come all the way down. If you're on a prop, go ahead and come forward far enough. You can take that prop off to the side. Draw your feet in front of you and place the soles of the feet flat on the floor. Yvonne and I did this in a class last week. And this is a nice alternative if your knees are bad and we're ever going to supine or on, and we're ever going to traditional pigeon pose. Bring your hands behind you. If your fingers are comfortable coming towards your hips, great. If they're not, feel free to take them out to the sides or to rotate them all the way around. Entirely up to you. Plant that left foot, lift the right foot up and over. Find the left knee. Flex that right foot, and then go ahead and point that foot. Just go back and forth a few times, lifting through the heart. Notice if you're sinking. Lift through the heart, flexing, and breathing, waking those feet up, waking those ankles up. Maybe do some little ankle rolls here. And then gently begin to press with the flexed foot, the right knee away from your heart. Inhale and lift those left toes up, drawing the right shin closer to your face. So when we're doing this, It's closer to when we come shins forward in our pigeon, right, than under the hip. Now you're welcome to stay right here if this is intense. If it's not, go ahead and start to walk the fanny closer to the heels. Only go as far as you can keep the heart lifted. The minute that pelvis starts to curl under, back off a little. It looks really impressive when we look over and our neighbors see us with our chin on our knee. But yeah, if we're straining our neck or curling our pelvis, it's really not doing anything. And then go ahead and take the fanny away. Unhook those feet. If you need to roll the wrists out here, feel free. Yep, love it. And when you're ready, we'll flip those hands to whatever position you prefer. Plant that right foot, lift the left leg up and over. Go ahead and roll those feet a little bit. This morning I got up and hopped out of bed, and how many of you were like me, where I hopped out of bed and I started down the stairs with the dog to take her to go potty. Flex that foot and then start to press the knee away. Draw that right foot up. You're all wondering, what the heck happened, right? Did she fall? What happened? No, I realized that my soles and my feet were stiff. I thought, oh, you're going to end up with plantar fasciitis if you don't take the time to roll your ankles out, right, and play with your toes before you get up. Go ahead and walk those hips in if you prefer. So again, our yoga is all about noticing our body, not insisting that it do what we think it should do the same way every day, right? And then unwind. Take the feet up, stretch the legs out, and shake a little bit. Lift up through the heart, pulling that pelvis forward again. You might pull the flesh away. And then point and flex. And point and flex, something that we don't often do, but just noticing, oh, that feels kind of good, doesn't it? Nancy's round.
You know, I walked the treadmill yesterday and never done it in a long time. It was really taking feeling in my shins.
From doing camel, any of you that were in class with me last week when we did camel, we did those pullbacks. I got up the next morning, I was like, why are my hip flexors hurt? And I came to class and taught the same thing. I was like, oh, that's fine. Take your right foot, bend that right knee and draw it up into the left thigh. So just a nice gentle janu here, all right? The hands come down behind the hips, lift up through the heart, twist to the left, and then start to draw your chest towards your toes, over that left thigh. I prefer you not extend your arms on this one because we tend to hunch, we want to come here and we want to get the chest as far down. If you keep the chest lifted, the spine neutral, then you'll get more of a stretch down in the legs since we're just warming up. Come back up, draw that right knee up, stretch the right leg out, lift and bend that left knee, pulling it up into, this is tree if we were standing, right, for John you. And then pull the flesh away. Nancy says she's so good at it sitting. All right, lift up through the heart. Twist your chest towards your right foot. Then keeping the hands behind you, straighten and flatten the spine, and then reach the nose towards the toes. And notice, is this side different? Elisa's shoulder flossing got her last week. Did you do some more to open it up? Yeah, good. And then inhale, lift up, take that left knee towards the sky, stretch the legs out. Grasp your strap and come down onto your back, making certain that you have some space on either side of the mat. And then draw both knees in towards the chest. Just grasp those shins, rock side to side. Feel that nice little back rub in your low back. And then holding that right knee in, stretch the left leg out, flex the left foot, and lay it down long on your mat. Take the strap and place it around the arch of your right foot. Many of you that have practiced with me know we're doing a souped up Sasana. Supta meaning you're lying on your back. Take that left leg out long and draw the hamstrings down towards the floor. You might place your left hand on your left hip, or you might take it out to the left side. Holding the straps up close as you can to your right foot. Push up through the heel and press the back of the right thigh away from your chest. Then pull the front of the right shin towards your chest. Take a few breaths here. Let that right hip get heavy, anchoring it into the ground, and then stretch the right leg out to the right side body, going just as far as you can go without that left hip rolling up. The minute that left hip starts to roll up, that's when we want to pull the leg back up to center. I like to ask students when we're using your strap, try to get into the habit of having the arms straight. That way, when we go to standing Supta Pada Uttanasana, you can get into, your arms are used to that, right? Yeah, beautiful, Yvonne. With your next inhale, use your inner right thigh to pull that leg back up and switch the strap hands. I don't have Kent here doing it, so I have to pay attention and keep doing it. With an exhale, take the right leg cross body, letting that right hip roll up, press out through the right leg. Keep it long and active. Your right shoulder is going to want to pop up this time, but keep that right shoulder down on the floor. If your neck allows it, you can take your gaze off to the right fingertips. Keep pressing through both legs, both feet are active. And then use the outer right hip to pull that leg back up. Now drop your strap, just let go of it on your leg. And then take both arms out to the side. Exhale, keep that right leg straight. And with a count of 10, slowly lower that leg down, keeping the belly pressing towards the spine, spine pressing towards the floor. Just getting a little core action in there. Until finally that right leg comes down, and then you can draw the left leg in, grasp the shin, and pull it in close to your chest. If your count of 10 took longer than mine, we'll catch up here. Flex both your feet. Draw the right leg up off the mat and hover for just a moment, again pulling the belly button towards the spine. And then go ahead and release that right leg back down. Take the strap and place it around the arch of the left foot. And again, holding that strap up nice and close to the left foot. Stretch through the heel. Let the left shoulder slide down onto the floor. So my hand just slides down the strap. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you do that, press the left thigh away. Pull the left shin towards your face. Push through the heel. Right hand on either right hip or out to the right side. Exhale, take left leg out, left side body. Both legs again, stay active and long. Think of this action coming from the pelvis. Nancy, can you pull your left leg up just a little and see if you can anchor your right leg down a little more? And then inhale, use the inner thigh to pull that leg back up. Switch the strap hands. And when you're ready, exhale and take that left leg over towards the right side body. Gaze might go over to the left fingertips. Both legs stay active, belly still pulls in, pressing the spine towards the floor. This is nice because it's a twist, it's core, it's thighs, it's great. Opens the hamstrings. When you're ready, inhale and lift that leg up. Let go of the strap and just let it float on the leg while you take a slow 10 count to draw that left leg down by the right leg. And then go ahead and shake those legs a little bit once you reach the ground. Take your strap off to the side of your mat. Bring your knees in, cross your ankles, grasp your shins, and rock stern to stern until you come up to sitting. Don't go any further than sitting. If coming to an easy seated position is not at all easy in your nomenclature, grab either a block or a blanket and place it underneath. We're going to do some shoulder openers here, and so I want you to be comfortable. The minute I say shoulder openers, Nancy's face starts to cloud up. All right. From here, we're going to take, have your strap available. We're going to do 2 different shoulder openers. So find a nice, easy seated position. I like the block because it gets me up high enough I can really get my hips to come forward and my knees will actually relax on the floor. Elise is very comfortable here, so her legs just kind of laying out to the side. So the thing she's got to work on then is lifting through the heart, right? Staying tall. Yeah, okay, take those arms out. We did this, some of you did this last week. We're gonna cross over the elbows and come to eagle arms. So cross over the elbows, I don't care which. Bring the backs of the hands together. Slide the thumb closest to your nose, the pinky furthest away from your nose, and then draw the hands past each other and maybe they intertwine. Grant's like, that did not make sense to me. Press the forearms away, feel the stretch through the back and between the shoulder blades. And then draw the shoulders back in and lift the elbows up high. Take just one breath here. Then an inhale, and on your next exhale, see if you can bow, curling, think cat-cow back, drawing the fingers towards the floor. Let the neck and the shoulders relax. And then inhale, lifting back up, unwind those arms, and you're gonna roll it out, however it feels good. Do the opposite side, so whichever arm went under before now goes on top. Get that nice big X in the arms, that's your first thing. Palms of the hands come towards each other, or backs of the hands, there you go. Now thumb closest to the nose comes to the nose, pinky furthest away goes away, and then the hand, I went the wrong way. There we go. And then the hands have to come past each other. Now we try to wrap. As always, that double wrap, it feels like, oh, yay, I can do it. If you're here, you're doing it, all right? Press the elbows away, feel the back opener. And then draw the elbows in, lift through the heart, start to lift the elbows up. Couple of nice big breaths. On your next exhale, start to curl the spine, rolling those fingers towards the floor. Relax the head. This is really why I wanted those hips elevated. And then inhale and lift up. If your hips aren't comfortable doing that, then you're fighting the hips all the way through, right? As opposed to having the freedom. All right, let's do some cow face arms. So take your strap. Gomukhasana arms, those of you that are catching up on your Sanskrit. So take your strap and place it over your right shoulder, and then take that right arm out and flip the palm skyward. I want you to look at your arm and notice as you do that. Can you get the rotation all the way up into the shoulder? Use the left hand to lift that arm all the way up by the ear. Bend and reach down the back and find your shirt, your strap. You can place the palm of your hand flat on your back, that helps. Now use your left hand and bring it over to the right tricep or elbow and press it back. Hold on to your strap with your right hand and let the left arm float out to the side. Turn the thumb down. Again, we want the rotation all the way into the shoulder. Reach behind you as though you're trying to grab something back there. Then bend and draw the arm back and up. Grasp that strap. Now start to lift the right elbow as you lift the heart. Draw the left shoulder towards the floor. Maybe the fingers crawl towards each other on the strap. Maybe they don't. No biggie. If you're pulling that right shoulder up and the left shoulder down, you're getting the stretch we want. And then let those hands float apart from each other. And again, work out those shoulders. Switch the strap to the other side. We lay off shoulders after this. Nancy's grimacing. And she's crying. And remember, just don't go to pain, right? We never go to pain, all right? Take that left, then don't, okay? Then maybe you do a more gentle, right? Okay, take that left arm out, flip the palm skyward, and again, notice that rotation all the way up and in. Use the right arm to help you get the arm up, and then bend and reach down. You can use the right arm to gently press into that tricep, getting a little more depth. Take that right arm out, flip the thumb down, reach behind you to open the shoulder, and then bend the elbow and reach up. My hair's in the way, I'm grabbing my hair. Pull the left elbow towards the sky, the right shoulder towards the floor, and breathe. Try to keep pulling the rib points here down to the hip points rather than letting the back banana to help you get further. One more breath. And then release, unwind. John will be so happy to know we are not going to full Gomukhasana later, so we are not adding those hips in. All right, take the strap off to the side I gotta tell you guys, this is one of the reasons to sign up. If I see somebody, like yesterday I saw that Yvonne and Jenny were in class, I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing today. If I know who's coming to class, then I can plan things for what, for your bodies.
So
For
you
things.
know, like, when you decide to do shoulders.
Yeah, so when I know she's coming, I decide to do shoulders. Okay, draw the feet back behind you. We're gonna come to a quick tabletop for our cat-cow. But I'd like you to turn this into a rhythmic movement. So start out with your toes crunched underneath you. And as you inhale, let the toes stay crunched here. Lift the gaze. Then as you exhale, lay the toes flat, start at the sacrum, roll the back up, let the head drop and press away. Keep going, adding the feet, starting with the feet, then moving to the sacrum, up the spine. Do 3 or 4 like this. Just trying to milk everything you can out of each movement, noticing if this is not new to you, what's different today? Does it feel good? Can you feel the opening? And then come back to a nice neutral tabletop. We're going to add to this flow by taking the knees back a couple of inches, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, and finding a down dog. So go ahead and walk your dog out here, getting comfortable in this first one. Make certain that you're lifting the hips high, neck and shoulders are relaxed. Love it. Yvonne is in a puppy pose because it's better for her body. Take one more breath, getting comfortable in whatever pose you are in, and then come to a nice still down dog. Now, Yvonne, I would suggest you can do this with forearm plank. So as you inhale, we'll come from down dog to a plank, and then exhale and lift back up to down dog. Inhale, press to a plank. Exhale, lift to down dog. One more time. Inhale to your plank. Exhale and lift to down dog. This time we're going to inhale, press forward through a plank, then lower the hips. Don't drop them. We're headed to a cobra pose. So bend the elbows, let the chest descend. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Press to either down dog or your forearms. 2 more times. Inhale, lower those hips with control, bending the elbows, finding a cobra. Tuck those toes, lift and rise. And one more time. Drawing those hips down, pulling the heart through, letting the elbows bend. Exhale, come all the way down. Beautiful. All right, draw the elbows underneath the shoulders. Lay the hands flat. If your wrists are bothering you, roll your wrists because that'll give me a clue. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep people off their wrists. I'm seeing on screen and here a few people rolling wrists. All right, elbows underneath the shoulders. Lift the right leg, stretch it out, press out through the toes, and then lay the toenails flat. Lift the left leg, stretch out through those toes, lay the toenails flat. If your low back is feeling okay, draw the legs together like merman legs, sorry, John. Press your pelvis down and feel your knees pop up off the floor. Now pull your belly in and feel it, try to rise off the floor. Pull your heart through your shoulders and draw the shoulder blades down your back. Keep pulling that belly in. Plant the hands and pull isometrically the hands back towards the hips. Take 3 breaths. In an active cobra, you shouldn't feel like you're sitting watching TV. And then exhale, release, come all the way down, bend those knees and windshield wiper those legs. All right, we're going to make our way up to a standing position. So bring your hands back by your rib cage, stacking elbows and wrists, tuck the toes, and either press through a table or reverse your plane and rise up, finding a down dog. Look forward, bend your knees, and make your way up to the front of your mat.
Inhale halfway when you arrive. Exhale and fold. Inhale and float all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do one sun A to complete our full warm up before we start exploring warriors. So inhale, reach all the way up. Am I comfortable with your modifications? Okay, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, step or hop to your plank. Take your chaturanga, pull through for your back bend, and press back, finding down dog. On your next inhale, plant that left foot, lift the right leg up, draw the right knee into the chest, swing the foot forward, a little bit of a lunge, and then step into the right foot and try to bring the left foot right up next to the right foot. Inhale halfway, exhale and fold. Inhale all the way up, eyes and arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, I think we've opened up and worked everything a little bit. So we're going to, if you've got a wall, you okay, dear? Okay, if you've got a wall, I'd like you to step to the wall. We're gonna play with some spacing, all right? So in order to figure out in our warriors, how wide apart should my legs be? Because we see everything in warrior from this, right? Can you see that stance is way too short? There's no way I'm ever gonna be able to bend into this knee. To, we'll see, really elongated and much too large, where my hip is out of place, the back of my foot is lifted, but hey, my thigh is parallel. So let's play with your body and your stance and see if we can figure out where you should be. So go ahead and actually come away from the wall slightly, because I want you to, a little more, come away from the wall. Give yourself plenty of space. We're gonna come back to the wall in a minute. Yeah, give yourself plenty of space to step back, at least even further forward. There you go. All right, what we're gonna do is vinyasa our way down to a low lunge. So exhale, forward fold, and that's gonna help us hopefully with our spacing. Plant your hands, bend your knees, plant that left foot, lift the right leg, and stretch back into your low lunge. So this is probably for most of us about where we want our feet to be. If we pivot that right foot down so it's parallel to the back edge of the mat, front foot bisects the arch of the back foot, then we can bring the hands to the knee, or we can just windmill up. Now, I find I tend to cheat myself, right? So I get up here and I realize, oh, I feel jammed up. I do need a wider stance so then I can spread. Now, in order to feel comfortable in that, I want you to take a minute, muscle memory. Where are you at? Where are your legs at? Then we're gonna just step forward, shake it out. We're gonna place the back foot in the wall. So take that the outside of the right foot and plant it into the wall. Sorry, Fran, if you want to come over here. If you do not have a wall, then just choose some boundary that will help you, like a chair leg, right? Something that will just be a marker for you. Then from here, we're just going to step forward, and this is not an Anusara thing. Normally in Anusara, you always move the weight-bearing leg, all right? So I'm doing a nadi. But we're doing it so we can keep one foot into the wall. I would like you to have the outside edge of that back foot really pushing into the wall, the chair leg, whatever you're in, so that the weight doesn't have to be borne so much by the front leg. Then try to stack that front knee over the front ankle. Squeeze the legs even as you're pressing them apart, so lots of internal energy. Draw up through the belly, bring the chest parallel to the long edge of the mat. Your back hand will probably rest on the wall if you're using a wall. And then that front arm goes straight out. Now use this back hand to give you some leverage to square the heart a little bit more so that you're parallel with the long edge of your mat. Notice if your knee wants to cave in or go out. Keep pressing it over the second toe of the left foot. Now flip that left palm and reach up for the sky. Keep the low body exactly the same. Bend the right elbow and reach back behind you. Reverse warrior. Some folks call this peaceful warrior. Come back through. Keep that back leg pressing into the wall. Bend the left elbow and bring it to the left thigh. Now bring that right hand to the right hip. Stack the shoulders, stack the hips. Pull the belly in. You might even look towards your chest and pull in, then draw the head back into neutral. Take that right arm out parallel to the ground and reach out across the floor. Draw the shoulder back in like we did with eagle and just pivot the arm over your head. Couple of breaths. Now while we've got the wall or the chair holding us, we're going to take that left forearm off the left thigh. Reach that right arm back and up. And windmill the arms down, finding a low lunge. Notice as you do this, are you in your typical low lunge position? Is that back heel on the wall? Step into the left foot, float forward, and plant the right foot by the left, and shake those legs out. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now, different sides are different, right? But we're gonna guess that wherever we just landed is about right. So this time we're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna stand on the right foot and step back with the left, seeking the wall with that left foot. Does that feel deeper than you normally go? For many of us, it will. Yeah, yeah. I took a stand-up paddleboard yoga class, and the instructor kept saying to me, take a wider stance, take a wider stance, take a wider stance on the board for balance. We do the same thing in the room where we think if we take a narrower stance, it will help us. It doesn't, it'll actually throw you off. So when a nice wide stance, press the back edge of the left foot into the wall, stack right ankle over right knee. Pull the butt down towards the floor, belly lifts up and in. Take the chest parallel to the long edge of your mat. Left arm to the left wall, to the wall. Right arm reaches out. Now I can press into the wall with my left hand and use that to give me a little more leverage to straighten out my upper body. Look out over the front fingers. Flip that front palm. Keep the low body exactly the same as you reach up. Keep that low body exactly the same as you bend the left elbow and reach towards the wall. Nice big side body stretch. Inhale, reach back up. Bring the right forearm to the right thigh, left hand to the left hip. Notice, like my left shoulder is outside of my right shoulder. So I want to pull those shoulders and stack them, pull the ribs in. Press the sit bones down towards that left heel. Straighten out my neck. Take that left arm parallel to the floor, reach across the floor, and then draw that shoulder blade back onto the back and pivot the arm over my head. Breathe. Now as my legs get tired, you can see I start to press my knee back. So I want to keep bending into that right knee. Float that right arm off and lift back up. Windmill the arms down and see if you can find your low lunge here. And step into that right foot, float the foot forward, and find a forward fold. You can keep a bend in those knees, grab opposite elbows, and take the body side to side for ragdoll here. Let the hands drop down to the ground. Take a bigger bend in the knees, trying to bring your chest and your belly onto your thighs, and then keep the hips right where they are as you lift the arms straight out to the floor. This is a modified chair pose here. Then inhale, lift up. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And shake it out. So that's warrior two. We start with warrior two because in general, warrior two is, I don't want to say easier, but more accessible than warrior one. So before we go for that deep warrior one, I'd like you to come back to your table. Lift your right leg up and stretch the toes behind you. And then just press back and get a little calf stretch here. And then lean forward, draw that right knee in. Take the left leg back. Press back into the calf. You want to make certain those calves are nice and open. We do
we do, Susan would be laughing. Warrior one in our Sun B salutation as a warm-up sometimes. Inhale and slide forward. Make your way any way you would like back up to your standing position. But if your calves aren't open, and like Nancy said she was walking yesterday and hadn't been doing that in a while, then you can hurt your calves. So we want to be gentle there. So we're going to do the exact same thing as far as our Warrior One goes, recognizing we need a shorter stance. And I would like you to have your blocks about midway on your mat so that you'll be able to grab them. Because like we did with our Warrior Two, we're going to add on and have a little fun with it, right? All right, so stand in between your blocks. Inhale, reach up. I know, Nancy's like her idea of fun. Exhale and forward fold. My husband says the same thing. Inhale, nice flat back. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, plant that left foot, lift the right leg up, and step back, finding the wall or that chair leg, the sofa. Slide the left foot a little further to the left. Now your right toes should be pointed at about the front right corner of your mat or even on a 30-degree angle, all right? You should be able to take a nice deep bend in that front knee here in this lunge. If you need to bring the blocks in to get comfortable while you arrange your feet, go for it. We want both hip bones pointed forward as you do this. Bring your hands up to your left knee and flatten the back, pull the belly up. Really press into that right heel so that you feel the calf engage. Then pulling the belly in, lift the heart. Bring the hands to the hips to make certain that they're squared. Usually what happens is the back hip is further back, so pull it forward. Plant that back heel again. Don't let the knee cave. Plant that back heel and lift the arms. Relax the shoulders and breathe. Exhale and draw the hands back behind you, clasping the hands. Here's why we did that, those shoulder openers. Press the hands towards the right heel. Now, you can stay right here, lifting through the heart, stretching through that back heel. You can close your eyes and it's a balance challenge. Like to go a little deeper? We're going to exhale and fold over that left thigh. Bring the left shoulder to engage with the left knee. This feels steady. Let the head drop towards the floor. Draw the left shoulder to the inside of the left knee and start to rotate your arms up towards the sky. All of those are stopping points, right? No need to go there. Bring your hands down to the mat to frame your foot. Bring both hands inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot off to the left. Walk your hands slightly forward and stretch down into a lizard. Elise just said, oh, you were so sneaky. Take a couple of breaths here. Drop that right knee down. We're not going to go for full bang up lizard today, okay? So now what I do want you to notice is left knee should be stacked right on top of left ankle. Yeah, so scoot yours just a little further, Jenny. Yeah, beautiful. And we're stamping down on that left foot. Then tuck those right toes in, lift up through that right leg, walk the left foot back into the center of the mat. Step into the left foot and float the right foot up next to it. Shake those legs out. Inhale, lift all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Yeah, I snuck a lizard in there instead of pigeon, or instead of pyramid, sorry. All right, so plant that right foot. And we're going to step back. See, can we find our Warrior One stance on the other side? Now, because we added the lizard, you might have come a little forward. So play with your stance, find where you're comfortable. Walk that right foot off a little. If you'd like to bring the hands back down to the mat to set the feet for balance, that's always good. Making certain that the left leg is straight and you're pressing through that left heel. Big bend in the right knee. Hands come up to the right knee. Lift through the belly, press out through the spine. You're welcome to stay right here. If you'd like to go deeper, inhale, lift the heart. Check in on those hips. As much as I teach this, I still find that right hip is forward, the forward knee is, that hip is forward. Pull the left hip forward, right hip back. Lift the arms. Don't let that back knee bend. Press through the heel. Now breathe.
We'll take that humble warrior. So clasp your hands the opposite direction so you feel like you have an extra thumb. Press the hands towards the heel. Lift through the heart. Maybe we stay here, we close the eyes, and we just play with balance. You want to go deeper, open the eyes, and take that right shoulder towards the right thigh. Connect there, feel strong. If that's good and you'd like to go a little further, pull the shoulder to the inside as you drop the head. Keep pulling, don't let that right hip pop out. Pull the right hip towards the left heel. Lift the arms up towards the sky. Drop the hands down to the inside of the right foot. Walk that right foot a little further off. You guys know where we're headed, back to lizard. Walk the hands slightly forward. Stretch towards the floor. And then draw that left knee down. And maybe if you have room with the baseboard, take the toes flat. Maybe not. So again, look over. My right foot is a little further back. So I'm going to scooch it forward so the right knee is stacked right on top of the right ankle. Hips are flat, so don't roll off to one side or the other. And then tuck those back toes, lift up through that back leg, walk the right foot back into the center. Step into the right foot, float the left foot up, and place left foot by right. Shake those legs out a little bit. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep the eyes and the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. And shake it out. All right. On this last one, you have the option of using the wall or using your blocks. All right, entirely up to you. We're going to play with Warrior 3. All right. Yeah, Nancy's like, it's this one, right? That's why we're reviewing this, so that when you go to a level 1 class and they say step to Warrior 3, you know what they're talking about, right? Okay, I view that as one of my basic jobs in a basics class is to make certain when you leave, you have the knowledge to go to other classes and know what they're asking of you, all right? So if you're using your blocks, come to the front of your mat, place both your blocks to come to an arda, not a fold, but fold, and place your blocks where your hands would rest. All right. If you're using your wall, then you're going to come to the wall and place your hands just above shoulder height here and walk out as though you're going to do a down dog on the wall. Wherever you are, now we're going to be extended and we're going to stand in the left leg and lift the right leg. So you need to be far enough, yep, Yvonne, you got it. When you're ready, stand on your left leg and float your right leg up behind you if you can. Now from here, without moving the hands at all, I want you to wrap the right hip towards the floor so the right leg is just parallel to the ground. Push out through that heel like we did in Supta Padangusthasana to straighten the leg. Lift up through the left hip. You might stay here and just play with a flat back, belly pulled in, trying to take some of the weight off the hands. Or you might start to draw one hand off the block, one hand back, so you're in Anjali Mudra. So really press out through that lifted back leg, trying to stretch and straighten it, flex the foot. Flex, 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 those toes towards the floor. Yeah, you got it. Keep trying to lift that back leg. I love it. Nancy's pulling one arm off. Elisa's playing with airplane. I'm sorry? You're going to feel it, but yeah, when you're ready, you can come up and relax. So, Yvonne, I think you were purposely staying right where you were. So I just want to make sure that you were not waiting for that next all right? So full Warrior 3, it is a balance pose, but that balance is coming from the core, right? So we really want to wrap everything in and then pull that outer hip. Don't open your hips. In Warrior 2, our hips are open. In Warrior 1, our hips are closed, right? They're drawing together. In Warrior 3, everything is lined up and we're drawing the hip bones towards each other, wrapping that right hip towards the floor, lifting the back leg. That's kind of our balance. From here, now we start to play by lifting the heart and the chest. Okay, so let's try with the other side. So find your blocks or your wall. So Elise, you might be a little too far away from your blocks. Yeah. You want to be right where, if I was coming down in a forward fold, my hands would land right on the blocks. Because then, out of this, you can stand on that right foot, straighten your arms on your blocks, so you're leaning on your blocks and your right foot. Let the left leg simply float up behind you. Wrap that left hip towards the floor, pull the belly in, stretch through the heel. Now we start to straighten the spine even more, lifting, creating a counterbalance against that lifted back leg. Now the hands start to play with coming to the heart. And you'll notice one side is going to be easier than the other. Nice. So the one suggestion I have for you is try to roll that left hip towards the floor more. Your foot, could you feel that was opening out to the side? Yeah. Yeah. And when you're done playing with that, take your time, but when you're done playing with that, come back to the front of your mat. We're going to play with one more pose that I think we all love, because we have to end the standing portion of the class in a place that we all love. And so I'm going to share with you. Exactly. He's just said Ardha. Well, that was a little frightening. The lights here just dimmed. I don't know what's going on. All right. So, yeah, it was like power surges. So hopefully everybody at home is okay. All right, come, again, if you've got a wall, great. If you don't have a wall, then you can come to the front of your mat. Or if you're just used to practicing it and you want to practice it away from the wall. I threw this in for Amon and Jenny last week, and they were like, what is this woman doing to us? So we're going to come to Warrior 2, first of the warriors that we played with today. Take that nice deep stance. Everybody here has their right hip on the wall. If you have your left hip, then you're just going to be reversing, all right? With a block in your hand to extend your arm so that you have a nice long side body. I really, really can't emphasize enough, use the block. So find that nice deep Warrior 2 stance. Get the right hip right on the wall if you're using it, stretch those arms out. Take the left hand to the left hip, pull the belly in, and float the right arm down, take that block as far out as it can go. Press the right hand flat, and then as you step into the right foot, let the left foot kind of drag. Just like we just did in our Warrior 3, make certain that the block is right underneath your right shoulder. Then straighten the right leg, lift the left leg, and start to roll up onto the wall. I really hope that surge didn't blow out the stereo. Turn it off. Yeah, something popped. Not good. Now you're welcome to stay here. You can play with lowering your block and see, can I still get my right side nice and straight? Remembering I've got 3 heights. And you can play with taking your hand off that block, peeling yourself onto the wall. When you're ready to come out of it, bend that right knee and slide along the wall, finding Warrior 2. And step back. Shake those legs out. Nice. Okay. Ready? All right. Find that nice deep warrior on the other side. Have I tuckered you guys out? When you move slowly, it's hard, right? You have to retain that muscular energy or you're going to fall over. All right. So again, nice deep Warrior 2 stance. Take that left arm out long, right hand on the right hip. Flow that left arm out, reaching that block out as far as you can go. And then step fully into the left foot. Straighten the left leg. Check out where the block should be. Lift the right leg. And to actually draw your right leg down slightly. You got a great lift. And then roll up on the wall. From here now, you can start to play with things like can you take the foot off the wall? Find the foot in your peripheral gaze. Can you play with the arms? A little bit of core here. And then bend into that front knee, sliding down, finding Warrior 2. Nice. Step together, shake those legs out. All right. Come back to the front of your mat. Let's do a sun A just to clear everything out. All right. You can either, knowing this is your last sun A of class, amp it up or move it in, right? If you're ready to start relaxing, find all four corners of your feet. Press down through into the ground. Draw the shins in and pull the thighs apart. Engage through the belly, engage the glutes. Spread those shoulders wide. Flip the palms out, lift up through the heart. Take 3 breaths. With your next inhale, open your eyes and float your arms up. Astasana, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, monkey or Ardha. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, step or hop back, finding your plank. Pull the belly in. Exhale, find your chaturanga to the appropriate back bend for you at this point in practice. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, find your down dog. Walk it out, get comfortable. Congratulate yourself. We have a few twists and a cool down into your Shavasana. Look to the front of your mat, bend your knees, roll over the toes, bringing the knees down to the mat. Slide the legs off to one side and come to a seated position. Come all the way back down onto your back. Turn this way. Stretch your arms out. Stretch the left leg out long. Draw the right knee in towards the chest, and then bring that right big toe to hook behind the right knee. Bring the left hand up on top of the right knee and draw the right knee down to the left side floor. Try to keep the right shoulder down. Nice deep twist. Left leg stays straight and engaged. And breathe. Unwind your legs. Stretch the right leg out. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Take the left toes and hook them behind the right knee. Right hand comes up on top of the left knee. And then exhale into your twist. As always, if your neck feels good, you can turn your gaze over to the opposite fingertips, in this case, the left. And then release that right hand. Let the legs stretch out long. If you're ready for your Shavasana, you can simply draw your arms down to your sides, externally rotate so the palms come up and the shoulder blades come underneath the back. If it feels better, you can bend the knees and bring the knees in towards each other, walking the feet out wide on your mat, laying the sacrum flat. As always, if you're not ready for Shavasana and there's a pose that you wanted to get in, feel free to do that and then meet us in your Shavasana. Turn our lights down a little.
We don't engage in too much with the thoughts.
Notice how you were behaving as you moved through class today. Were you able to find patience when you wanted us to move on and instead stay with the task at hand of exploring the move, finding new depth? As your body gets heavy, let your breath get light. Notice your jaw. Perhaps opening the jaw, rolling the jaw around, taking a breath or two, and then gently bringing the lips close together.
letting the tongue float or letting it rest at the back of the teeth, right where the gum line meets the teeth. Let your attention draw to your shoulders. Draw the heads of the arm bones further towards the mat. Shoulder blades come underneath you. And then relax and let the arms melt. Let your attention wander down to your thighs, noticing if you're gripping or pulling. If so, perhaps rock the thighs gently side to side, and then release all effort. And finally, bring your attention to your toes. Maybe wiggling those toes a little and then letting them just relax out on the floor. Take a full deep breath in and then drop your jaw and exhale completely. As your breath returns to normal, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll the wrists and the ankles. When you're ready, draw your arms up over your head, reaching with your thumbs behind you. If you hit the wall, just press into the wall or bend the elbows. Stretch out like your first morning stretch, and then using your core, pull your knees in and grasp your shins. If it feels good, give yourself that last little back rub here. And when you're ready, make your way over to your favorite side. Let your head rest on your arm for 1 to 2 breaths. And then I want to ask you, as you move out of this Shavasana, do it mindfully by using your upper hand and placing the palm on the floor. Then stretching out the upper leg and using the hand and the leg to lift you, letting the head rise last.
finding an easy seated position. Shavasana is meant to be kind of a little, we were talking about breaths being love notes for your body last week. And Shavasana is definitely a little love note for your body. I want to thank each of you today for class as we explored the basics of some of our basic positions in class. Warriors 1, 2, 3, and then did a few little flourishes there. Remembering that to go back to our roots and to be patient, nesting, and thinking about how we want to show up can make all the difference in the way we wait, whether it's through a pandemic or whether it's for something else happening in our life. You can choose to make it a place as comfortable and as nourishing as possible, or you can choose to make it as frustrating and anxiety-ridden as possible. May your choice today and always be that of comfort, love, and nourishment. Namaste. Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, what? Oh, good, thank you. So we turn off the recording and open mics. This is a good class. So,